This is the Mark Education channel. Please do like and comment on our videos. And do subscribe our channel. If you have any query or doubt or having any question regarding any topic, please leave a comment on comment box. We will try to get back to you with more explanation. Thank you.
Yes, welcome student. Welcome to first video lecture of class 11th. So in class 11th physics, we will start our physics syllabus from mathematical tools, or you can say applied mathematics, which is necessarily required while we studying physics. So we start with function. So student, if you talk about function, so function is a rule of relationship between two variables in which one is assumed to be a dependent variable and the other independent variable. Let's say we define y is equals to fx. So here we can see that the value of y depend on value of x. So we can say that y is a function of x. So we can simplify this by example. So the first example, like the temperature at which water boils depends on the elevation above sea level. The boiling point drops as we go down the sea level or on decreasing the height. So here the height above the sea level is independent variable and temperature is the dependent variable. So let me define like T is temperature function. T is temperature function and H is the elevation or the height above the sea level. Above the sea level. So as we discussed that temperature or the boiling point depends on the height. Okay, so we can write this expression like T is a function of height above the sea level. Okay, so I would like to introduce this definition or this explanation by some another example. So the second example, like the interest paid on a cash investment depend on the length of time the investment is held. Here time is the independent and interest is the dependent variable. So let I is the interest function. I is the interest function and T is the time duration for which the money is held or money is deposited in account. Okay, so we can write the interest function I is equals to f of t, means the interest is a function of time. So from this discussion now we are able to understand the definition or the concept behind the function. So usually we denote function like y is by this term y is equal to fx, or this fx may be a polynomial or this fx may be a trigonometric function, exponential, logarithm, Okay, so the nature of this fx may vary. So now we discuss this expression or the representation of function by some example. Suppose that the function f is defined for all real number r as fr, means f is a function of real number, and this fr is defined as 2 r minus 1 plus 3, and they ask for the value of this function at the input values say 0 to x plus 2 and f2. Okay, so how we calculate or how we determine the value of function at these inputs? So first they ask about f0, so we can write this f and r is 0. So here we replace this r by 0. So in this equation we have to replace this r by 0, minus 1, then plus 3. Okay, so on solving, so we will get minus 2 plus 3, which is 1. Clear? Then f of 2 means the value of function at r is equal to 2. So this is 2, and 2 minus 1 plus 3. So when we solve this, so we will get 5. Then f of x plus 2. So this is 2, and replace the value of x plus 2. Replace the value of r by x plus 2. So x plus 2 minus 1, and this is plus 3. So when we solve this, so this is x plus 2 minus 1, so x plus 1. So 2x plus 2 plus 3. So simply it is 2x plus 5. Clear? Now the last is f2. At f2, not f, they demand the value of the function at f2. Okay, this f2 doesn't mean that at r is equal to 2. It means the value of r is f2. Clear? So replace r by f2. So here we replace this r by f2 minus 1 and plus 3. As we already calculated the value of f2, which is 5. So this is 2. 5 minus 1 plus 3. So 2 times of 4 plus 3. So 2 times of 4 is 8 plus 3. So finally we will have 11. So this is simple examples based on function, and these kind of problems we will face in different section of physics while we calculating some formula or we solving some numerical problem. And today we will discuss about differentiation. So the branch of mathematics in which we studied about, or in which we study about differentiation, is called differential calculus. Now the first question arises that what is the purpose of differentiation and why we study this differentiation and how it is important in physics. So the purpose of differential calculus is to study the nature, that is increase or decrease, and the amount of variation in a quantity when another quantity on which the first quantity depends varies independently. So like we define a function y is equal to fx. So in this equation you can see y is dependent quantity and y depend on x. So when we study the change in y with respect to the change in x, okay, so how much or how rapidly or how slow there is a change in y when we change the value of x. So simply the rate measurement or simply the variation of a physical quantity and a dependent physical quantity with respect to an independent physical quantity. So this study or this measurement method is known as differentiation. So in our day-to-day life we often face such situations like growth of plants, expansion of solid on heating, variation in the velocity of a uniformly accelerated object, growth in the population of a country. So there are many examples in which a physical quantity depends on another physical quantity and that dependent physical quantity varies with respect to that independent physical quantity. So the study of the nature of a function, that how it will increase and how it will decrease, so that study is known as differentiation. So before we start a mathematical discussion about differentiation, I would like to introduce some important terms like quantity. So many of us confused in the meaning of a quantity. So in physics, physical quantities or a quantity is defined as anything that can be measured is called quantity, directly or indirectly. Okay, so the next term is constant and variables. Constant and variables. So when we think about constant and variables, so a quantity whose value remains constant throughout the mathematical operation is called a constant, like integer, fraction, pi, exponential, etc. These all are constant physical quantities, or these simply we can call them constant. On the other hand, a quantity which can have any numerical value within a certain specific limits is called a variable. A variable is usually represented by some letter like x, y, z, u, v, w, whatever we assign to them for their representation. So this is a very basic discrimination between constant and variables. Next is dependent and independent variables. Dependent and independent variables. So a variable which can have any arbitrary value within a specific limit is called an independent variable, whereas a variable whose value depend upon the numerical value assigned to the independent variable is called a dependent variable. Like you can see in this equation, the value of y depend on the value of x. So y is dependent quantity and x is a independent quantity, or we can say x is a independent variable and y is a dependent variable. Okay, so now we start mathematical discussion about differentiation. Then we will move to the graphical representation about differentiation, because it is quite necessary to know the significance of differentiation mathematically, the mathematical meaning, and how we relate this calculus concept in the various problem. So for that we have to consider an equation here. So suppose we have a function like y is a function of x, so y fx. We define a function y is equal to fx. I call this equation as equation number 1. So you can see in this equation the value of function or the dependent variable y depend on the value of the independent variable x. If we change the value of x, so like if we change this value of x, we are changing the value of x to x plus delta x. There is a slight change in the value of x, then the value of the function will also change, and so it will become y plus delta y. There is a slight change in the value of y when we slightly change the value of x, because y is totally dependent on x. So how we can write it? Y plus delta y is defined as f x plus delta x. So this is our this is our second equation. So if we subtract equation 1 from equation 2, so now I am using the operation, we are writing like this: equation second and then minus equation 1. Okay, we are subtracting equation number 1 from equation number 2. So if we follow this operation, so we have equation like f plus delta y minus y is equal to f x plus delta x minus fx. Okay, so simply you can see here, now we have the separate value of delta y, that is the change in the value of y, and it is f x plus delta x minus fx. Okay, so this is our equation number 3. So equation 3 provides change in the value of function y when the value of variable x is changed from x to x plus delta x. So if we study the change in y with respect to the change in x, so how we will write that statement in mathematical form? So just have a look. So we can write delta y over delta x. So if we write delta y over delta x, so we have to divide both the side of equation 3 by delta x. So simply now we have x plus delta x minus fx over the delta x. So clearly, so this equation gives the average rate of change of the function when the value of the variable x changes in the interval between x and x plus delta x. So if the change is quite low or change is too small, means delta x approaches to 0. If we study this entire condition for a small change of x, so we can write this limit delta x tends to 0, means it doesn't mean that delta x is 0, means delta x is a small change in x, and that change is approaches towards 0, means a very small change. So we assign limit on both sides. So we write limit delta x tends to 0, delta y over delta x is equal to limit delta x tends to 0, and here we have f x plus delta x minus fx over delta x. So this is our equation. So this limit delta x tends to 0, delta y over delta x is termed as dy over dx, which is nothing but simply a differential coefficient, and which is the instantaneous rate of change of y with respect to x. Instantaneous means delta y over delta x is the average rate of change of y with respect to x, but sorry, but when delta x approaches towards 0, then this delta y over delta x will become dy over dx, and this dy over dx defined as the instantaneous rate of change of y with respect to x. So this dy over dx is defined as limit delta x tends to 0, and here we have fx plus delta x minus fx over the delta x. So it is clear now from above equation that instantaneous rate of change of the function y with respect to variable x. Hence, the differentiation of a function with respect to a variable implies instantaneous rate of change of the function with respect to that variable. So the definition which I use in the beginning of this lecture, so this calculation is all about that, or this entire calculation is in the support of that mathematical definition, that differentiation or of a quantity is nothing but it's simply a rate, instantaneous rate of change of dependent physical quantity with respect to independent variable. Now time to move towards graphical representation or geometrical representation of differentiation, how we can understand the meaning of dy over dx in mathematical aspect or by using the graphical method. So for that I have to draw some geometry here. So just have a look how we define that. So suppose we have a function, like we are using a simple function y equals to fx. So we have this function y is equal to fx, and here we have a graph which corresponding to this function or corresponding to the behavior of the function. So as we don't know about the nature of function, whether it is logarithm function or sine function or exponential function, so we are drawing a shape, a curve which represent this y is equal to fx. So we have a function here, and let this function is represented by this curve, and I would like to write here y equals to fx. Okay, so now we consider 2 points on this curve. Let we consider one point here, and this point having this coordinate x naught, and the height of this is y naught. So let this point is P. So let I define this point as P, and P having coordinate, so we can write here x naught, y naught. So this is P point, and when we slightly move along the x-axis, means when we are going to change the value of x, so the value of y will also be changed. You can see in this picture that when we move slightly further in this direction, so let we move delta x time. So let we have another point here, and this another point is x plus delta x. This is x naught, so this is x naught plus delta x. So now the value of y will also be changed, and let this height, this slight change is, and the entire height is y plus delta y, y naught plus delta y, y naught plus delta y. So if we talk about the average change of average rate of change of y with respect to x, so how we define that? So let this is our point P, and this is our point Q, and this Q having coordinate x naught plus delta x and comma y naught plus delta y. So if we talk about the average change of the average rate of change of y with respect to x, so it is the slope of the line joining P and Q. So now we will join a line here, so which is joining P and Q like this, and let this angle is alpha. So student, you can see the slope of this line will give us the rate of change. So we can write like tan alpha. So you can see if this angle is alpha, then this angle will also be alpha. So this tan alpha can define as this perpendicular over the base. So perpendicular is this height is delta y, and this base is delta x, delta y over delta x. So in the previous discussion, delta y over delta x is defined as tan alpha is equal to, we can simply write this as x naught plus delta x minus fx naught over the delta x. Okay, now we assign a limit here. So if we use a limit, like if delta x is approaches towards 0, if delta x is too small, then this gap, or we can say that this point and this point coincide with each other. So in this case, the slope of this line decreases and this line become a tangent to the point P. So like this, and let this is our angle theta. So student, I am talking about the case when we assign a limit in the value of x, like if this change is very small or as compared to 0. So you can see that the gap between this point and this point, or we can simply say that this point will coincide with this and this line will become tangent. Okay, and let that tangent making an angle theta with the horizontal direction. So if we use the limit, so limit delta x tends to 0, limit delta x tends to 0, this is tan alpha, and this is limit delta x tends to 0, fx naught plus delta x minus fx naught over the delta x. Okay, so when this delta x approaches to 0, then the slope will become tan theta, rather than the tan alpha it will become tan theta. So we can simply write tan theta is equal to limit delta x tends to 0, fx naught plus delta x minus fx naught over the delta x. Okay, so as per our definition which we discussed in the previous mathematical discussion, that this term is defined as dy over dx, which is the instantaneous rate of change of y with respect to x. So we can simply write as tan theta is equal to dy over dx. So this is geometrical meaning of dy by dx, that dy over dx at any point is equal to the slope of the tangent which we draw at that point. Okay, so dy over dx, now I think the confusion, there is no confusion in between delta y over dx, delta x and dy over dx. So mathematically we can now we are able to define the meaning of differentiation, that dy over dx is simply the slope of the tangent at any point on the curve. So student, this is all about mathematical and graphical representation of dy over dx and the meaning of differentiation. In the next video we will talk more about this differentiation and the mathematical operation or the technique which we followed in order to obtain the rate or the rate of change for the various function and some applied problem in physics. Okay, so I hope you understand the whole concept and the logic which we used and you enjoy a lot. So if you have any doubt, so you can comment in student chat group, so I will try to get back you as soon as possible. Thank you very much.